Damn. Did this fool just spit on her, bro? Hold on. Bro, I would be so pissed, bro. I'd jump over that motherfucking thing if I was a judge, bro. I'm not even playing. Damn. Look at her face, too. She's like, this motherfucker just spit on me, bro. Oh, my. And look at the lawyer's face. He's like, what the fuck, bro? Are you for real right now? If I was that judge, I'd be like, life sentence. Life sentence. Straight up. Life sentence. Just playing, no. But I'd be like, all right, bro. Well, you want to play like that? 5 more years. Some bullshit. Because that's what judges be doing, bro. They give people hella years because they do something stupid in the courtroom. But I'd be like, 5 more years, bro. You Dang, he should have killed. Oh, this dude right here. This dude look crazy. Whatever he did it. 100%. I've seen this dude on Twitter. I've seen pictures of bro. Whatever he did it. I'm stereotyping. He did it, bro. There's no way he didn't do it. Bro, whatever he did it. Whatever they accused him of. Hell no, bro. Just could you imagine just getting spit on like that?
This is Bass Webb, who's facing charges of attempted murder in Paris, Kentucky. Video outside a Kentucky jail captured the alarming moment when Webb, a former inmate with a 3-month sentence for assault charges, accelerated his car in an attempt to run over 2 jail employees. One of the employees narrowly avoided the vehicle, but the others...
Bro, you're telling me that you had a 3-month sentence for, I don't even know what, but 3 months, right? And you're telling me you got free or whatever, and you ran your vehicle into these freaking COs? You're crazy, dog. You're literally
suffered
insane,
injuries as
bro.
Webb's car pinned him against a wall. However shocking his crimes were, wait till you see how Webb handled himself in court.
Bro.
During Webb's initial court appearance, presided over by Judge Vanessa Dixon, his disruptive behavior persisted.
Bro, and I told the officers, get this motherfucker.
Yes.
Before the proceedings continued, Judge Dixon informed Webb that she recused herself from the trial due to her acquaintance with the targeted jail employees, and because she simply didn't want to see Webb at all.
Whenever I try this case, or have any further proceedings, or I'll have to see you for one further setting.
This is where things got a little crazy.
Bruh.
Just in case you missed that, we'll slow it down for you. Webb literally spits on the judge. Not the brightest move to disrespect the person who was responsible for your freedom or continued incarceration. In fact, immediately after being spat on, Judge Dixon orders to charge him. However, things didn't end here for Bass, because only a short period after this incident, while awaiting trial, he, along with 4 other inmates, incited a riot at the Fayette County Detention Center. During this chaotic event, Webb was shot with beanbag bullets and struck in the neck by a pepper ball. Undeterred, he proceeded to hurl a metal telephone box at a corrections officer. Fast forward to Bass's next courtroom hearing. This time, in addition to his previous 2 counts.
But hey, bro, let's just be honest. A person like this guy ain't got nothing to lose, bro. So he's gonna do whatever the fuck he wanna do, bro, because he got nothing to lose. Like, you think right now, bro, if he were to get a life sentence, right now, he would literally probably jump over that counter or whatever and try to kill the judge, right? Because he got nothing to lose. He's acting like right now that he's getting a life sentence like you got nothing to lose. But still, bro, like, this dude is crazy. Inciting a riot in a jail is wild,
counts
bro.
Of attempted murder related to his vehicular attack on the jail employees.
That shit is wild,
Bass is also
bro.
facing 3rd-degree assault charges for his involvement in the riot. However, if you thought the story of Bass Webb ends here, you're deeply mistaken. Because now we fast forward 5 years later, and Bass is once again in court. This time,
I bet you the judge gave him 5. I would have been like, 5 more years. I'd be like, welcome back, bitch. Straight out, I spit on him, bro. Fuck this
Bass
guy.
is facing charges for the murder of an ex-girlfriend from almost a decade earlier,
idiot,
Bria Runewitz.
Bro, I'm sorry for pausing it, but this dude is pissing me off. He got attempted. Hold on.
Once again in court. This time,
so he
Bass
didn't
is
get
facing
charges. Whenever he spit on the fucking judge, he didn't get charged. He didn't get sent. Oh, I would have been 5 more years. Now he got attempted murder charge,
for the murder of an ex-girlfriend from almost a decade earlier,
And he murdered
Bria Runewitz. Interestingly
getting
enough, Bria had been studying to become a law enforcement officer and was
he
a
getting
Bourbon
live.
County Jail employee at the time of her murder. A cold case was resurrected following a jailhouse tip that led to the discovery of the victim's remains.
Oh, yeah, he
During
getting
this
live.
particular court appearance, Webb showcased a shocking new appearance adorned with sinister head tattoos. These tattoos unveiled a disturbing murder hit list, targeting judges, prosecutors,
All
law
cops.
enforcement officers, and the media. As the courtroom proceedings began taking place, so did Webb's antics.
Bro just threw his life on the drain, dog.
Here we see
Straight
the
up.
judge ask Webb to come forward and
throw his
stand.
life away, bro.
Instead, Webb decides he would rather not and smiles at the request. Following over a week of courtroom proceedings, the jury reached a verdict, finding Webb guilty of intentional murder. The trial provided details of how Webb choked his former girlfriend to death and buried her in a shallow grave. Bass received a life sentence with
Told
the
you.
possibility of parole after
With the
25
possibility?
years. Bass Webb
With the possibility of... Bro, there's people that get life sentences don't even get without possibility of parole. You know this guy's a fucking piece of shit. Like, you literally know this dude's a fucking piece of shit. And you... Oh my God. With the
is a prime example of a convict acting crazy in
Yeah,
court.
people get
However,
life sentences
100
for
mile
drugs
per hour
without the
car chases
possibility
might even be
be
considered
fucking
to be a little more crazy, like in the infamous case of Ryan Stone, who is facing multiple charges, including attempted manslaughter in Denver, Colorado. In March 2014, Ryan embarked on a crime spree that extended across 5 counties
playing
and
GTA
was
in real life.
broadcasted live by a news
Look at this
station's
shit.
helicopter. The chase itself was nothing short of chaotic.
playing GTA in
Stone
real
can be
life.
seen forcefully stealing 2 vehicles, one of which had a 4-year-old child inside it. According to authorities, Stone's escape led law enforcement on a high-speed pursuit, surpassing speeds of 100 miles per hour. If you watch closely, you'll see the vehicle Stone was driving collide with a Colorado State Patrol trooper. Trooper Bellaman He had been trying to deploy stop sticks
Damn,
when
bruh.
Stone's vehicle collided with him. This incident resulted in multiple broken bones. This is
Damn,
when
you got
things
ran
crazy.
over, bro.
Only minutes later, the broadcast would film Stone forcibly removing another individual from their vehicle.
Damn, and she's
before
like, what the
fleeing the
fuck?
scene.
Bro, straight
The chase would
GTA
transition
on their
to a
ass,
foot
bro.
pursuit.
Straight GTA. He literally fucking walked. Straight GTA, bro. What the fuck? No way, watch. Bro. Straight GTA, let
Gas
me
would
walk up
film
there. Get the
Stone
fuck out the
forcibly
car,
removing
bitch.
another
Get the fuck
individual
out
from
the car.
the
She's like,
vehicle
ah!
before
Like
fleeing
when
the
them
scene.
pedestrians run at you with the GTA, bro. That's literally, I would have just been like, bro, ain't no way. I just got carjacked. Oh my God.
Case would
bro.
transition to a foot pursuit after Stone crashed the hijacked car in the middle of an intersection.
Boom. Fucking yeah.
Stone sought refuge in a parking lot where he encountered slippery ice, causing him to lose his jacket.
Bro, this man's
His path was soon
stupid.
obstructed by an insurmountable fence.
Stupid.
Eventually, law enforcement closed in on Stone, and he ultimately surrendered. The chase lasted a grueling 1.5 hours during the morning rush
Damn,
hour.
1.5
However shocking the case
hours?
was, wait till you see how Ryan acted during his trial. Ryan was
Oh,
facing
yeah.
multiple offenses, including attempted manslaughter, first-degree assault, and child abuse. But that didn't seem to faze Ryan. Instead, prosecutors played jail phone recordings where Stone seemed to enjoy the chase and boasted about the global attention.
Bro, so many people be doing this shit to themselves. Just self-snitching on each. They'll like call their baby moms or their fucking girl or whoever, bro. They're homies too, and they'll sit on that phone and brag about how they did this shit and like how they hate. Like, bro, I watched this one where like the judge, or not the judge, the inmate or whatever, you know, the dude getting the charges, he was just talking shit like, oh, bro, he's literally just saying something like he's not actually sorry and this and that, like saying all this shit like he's whatever, right? And then the judge is like, well, we got, you know, your recordings of this, and then they're like, so what's up? And then he's like, he tries to say like he was just joking and shit, but like, you don't joke about that. Like, all I'm trying to say is, bro, self-snitching at his finest, bro. This man is an idiot.
You know I made the news in the UK and Australia?
Look, bro, he said, did you know I made the...
Yeah, my lawyer told me I made the news in the UK.
Did you know you could be entitled to a 5 or 6 figure payout if
bro's
you were in a
happy that he got
traffic
fame.
collision within the past 2
And
That's
Australia.
really 15 minutes
If you
of fame.
type
Throw
in
your
Grand
life
Theft
away.
Auto on YouTube, my shit comes up.
Did I
first.
not say that too? I literally
Stone
said
even
Grand
mentioned
Theft
that
Auto.
YouTube typically compensates individuals for videos like his, and declared his intention to contact Channel 7 News to demand payment.
You
Oh,
get paid by YouTube. So, Channel 7 News, I believe, is going to be the one that gets paid for that. Well, I'm going to contact Channel 7 News or have you contact Channel 7 News or somebody, a lawyer. Tell me, hey, look, I want to get paid.
When appearing before Judge Paul King of the Douglas County District, Ryan broke down, blaming his crimes on drugs and asking him for a
See, that's
lesser
what I'm
sentence
saying, bro.
because he wants to.
This is the same shit that I was explaining earlier, bro, with that other one I watched. It's literally the exact same, like pretending like you're sorry, this and that. Watch, they're gonna play the video and he's gonna be like, "So what's this?" And he's just gonna sit there
Start a
and look
family with
stupid.
his wife.
Time to start a family, bro. Living a beautiful life.
Ryan's attempt at appearing remorseful in court did not mix after the court saw the videos of him bragging about his virality to a friend. The judge handed down a staggering 160-year prison sentence with no parole eligibility for 75
But
years.
see what I'm saying though? This dude didn't kill anybody, right? He should go to jail. Like, he got attempted manslaughter, whatever. Like 30, 35 years, right? In my opinion. He didn't kill nobody. But that other dude, he killed his ex-girlfriend and she was gonna be a cop. And he got 25-year parole. Like, he had a life sentence with possibility of parole for after 25 years. That's crazy. This man didn't kill nobody, but still, like, he deserved to go to jail. I said 30, 35 years. But this is...
This guy is a menace.
He is a
And he
menace.
is gone from us now, and we are better for it.
Ryan's behavior and reactions drew people to his case. However, he's not even our craziest convict, because next, we have a case that features 2 brutal teenage murderers in Antonio Barbo and Nathan Pop, who are facing charges for murder in Sheboygan County, Wisconsin. The 2 teenagers brutally killed Barbo's great-grandmother, 78-year-old Barbara Olson, in her Sheboygan Falls home in September 2012. According to police reports, Barbo struck her several times with a hatchet as his accomplice, Nathan Pop, simultaneously used a hammer to bludgeon 78-year-old Olson to death. Only minutes after the attack, the boys would be seen on surveillance footage getting gloves and wipes, almost acting as if nothing had happened. However brutal the slaying was, wait till you hear how they justified the murder.
How much money was there in there, cash?
About, I think, 150.
And where is that?
Bro killed his grandma for $150. $150.
Some of it went towards food, and then
Pizza.
we got pizza, and then some of it went towards weed, which I think is actually still at his house upstairs, if he didn't
So
get
you're
it.
telling me you killed your grandma?
That's right, you heard that correctly. The boys decided to murder Barbara Olson for money to buy pizza and weed. Watch here as surveillance footage captured the boys
Watch when
just
they told me
hours
life
later,
sentence, bro.
enjoying a couple slices, almost acting as if they hadn't just committed a murder. During the trial, Barbo entered a plea of no contest to first-degree intentional homicide. This plea was part of a deal that reduced his charge. Previously, Barbo had pleaded not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect, but he changed his plea in this proceeding as a result. Barbo was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 36 years, by which time he would be 50 years. When given the opportunity to address the court, Barbo struggled to express himself and could not complete his statement.
I know I don't show my emotions much, and I myself am not sure why.
Gang, he killed his grandma for $150. You telling me you couldn't just walk in there and steal that shit and get your ass beat later, whatever? At least you got your pizza in your bud and all this shit. You threw your life away for $150, bro. You gonna be, if you even get out of jail, you gonna be 50 years old. That's crazy. You're telling me you couldn't just walk your dumb ass in there and steal that motherfucking $150, and then when you get home from eating your little pizza and smoking your little weed, get your ass beat by your daddy or whatever. Like, come on, bro. What the Axel? Come on.
But that doesn't mean I don't.
His lawyer stepped in and finished on his behalf.
You know you're not crying because
I took away someone's mother, their grandma, sister, friend, when I had no right to do so.
As he was escorted out of the court, Anthony can be seen crying and sobbing. His accomplice, Nathan, was also sentenced to life imprisonment and will not be eligible for parole until he turns 45. He showed no emotion as he was seen leaving the court. What makes Barbo and Pop's case so shocking is because they were barely teenagers at just 14 years old. However, other cases went viral because of rather unusual rulings, like the case of Susan Marie Mellen, a woman who spent a staggering 17 years in prison for a crime she didn't commit. She was allegedly involved in the beating to death of Richard Daly, a homeless man. At 42 years old, she was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. She's seen here in an interrogation begging a detective to believe she's innocent and didn't commit the crimes she's accused of.
I just don't get how somebody gets
are you sick or injured? Do you have any medical
convicted of something they didn't do. Like, they have evidence, right? Supposedly.
No, I'm not going to believe. I'm talking homicide. A man was murdered, all right?
I didn't murder him.
Susan was found guilty based on the testimony of an informant who was later discovered to be a habitual liar.
Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
From my heart and my soul, I would never let somebody do that to anybody. I mean, I didn't hate Rick. I would never let anybody do something I hated. Or I still, I had feelings for the man. He was good to me. He was good to me. He was good to my kids.
During Susan's interrogation, she was persistent on the fact that she was innocent and could never be a murderer. However, Detective Wynn from the LAPD didn't believe her. In fact, she was so certain Susan murdered Rick, she arrested Susan for murder before her interrogation was even over. With no one else to listen to her, Susan turned to God and prayed she wasn't actually going to be arrested for a murder she did not commit. Fast forward 17 years, Susan is 59 years old and about to be exonerated in a Torrance courthouse.
The petition is granted. The judgment is vacated.
That sheriff, that cop that was so convinced on convicting her and all that deserves to go to jail. Deserves it. Instead of doing her job and being like, okay, let's prove that she's innocent. She deserves to go to jail. Straight up.
The conviction is overturned.
You do 17.
And as to Miss Mellen, the case is dismissed.
Watch as she is instantly met with tears of joy and an outpouring of emotions. As she hugged her grandchild for the first time, she said she had always believed the truth would come to light someday.
I even wrote freedom on the bottom of my tennis shoes with a black marker because I believed I was going to be free.
She never lost faith and maintained her conviction she would walk free one day. Now that the day had arrived, she couldn't contain her happiness and even broke into a joyful dance. As Susan embraced her family, she forgave those who wrongly imprisoned her, emphasizing the importance of forgiving even one's enemies. She eagerly anticipated sharing a McDonald's Happy Meal with her youngest daughter, reminiscent of the day they couldn't have one due to her arrest.
In prison, but freedom wasn't in me. I always felt like I was free in the inside. Well, I mean, I still kind of in shock. I don't know if it still hasn't hit me. I didn't want to be bitter. I didn't want to be a miserable lifer. I knew I was going to go home.
Is that your first cell phone?
Yeah, I never had one. I don't even know how to turn it on. I'm free! Ah!
Exonerations are not frequent. However, Susan Mellen isn't the only person whose exoneration case went viral. There's the case of Daniel Villegas, who spent 18 years in prison for a double homicide he never committed. At the young age of 16, Daniel was convicted and has been behind bars since.
Can you keep up? Oh,
from high school dropout to owning your own multi-million-dollar company, your life, your choice.
On April 10th, 1993, Armando Mando Lazo, 17, and Bobby England, 18, along with two other individuals, were walking home from a house party when a car approached them slowly and sped away. Witnesses reported that the car turned around and came back toward the group, eventually stopping. Someone from the back seat opened fire, tragically killing Lazo and England. However, the story doesn't end there. You're probably wondering how Daniel became a suspect to the case in the first place. Well, as it turns out, there was actually no physical evidence linking Daniel to the crime in the first place. There was no DNA found.
Bro, how? How? There's no solid proof that he was even there and he got sentenced to life in prison, your kid. How does that happen? That person that sentenced him deserves to go to jail. That cop that did all that, and that judge, with not using his brain, deserves to go to jail. That jury that convicted him, they're stupid. I'm sorry. Bro, if I was in the jury and they're like, there's literally no DNA proof or any evidence that he was even there, I'm like, dude, this man's not guilty and I'm not going to leave this room until all y'all say he's not guilty. I'm not even playing, bro. I'm like, fuck no, you're not putting no innocent man.
No firearms retrieved, and no forensic evidence linking him to the case at all. He was convicted based on the testimony of a friend who claimed he confessed the crime to him.
But this was a reliable witness in 2014 who told the detectives, I asked him if he did it, and he said yes.
When 16-year-old Villegas was brought in for questioning, an El Paso detective threatened him with beatings and the death penalty unless he confessed to the murder. Under duress, the teenage
that deputy deserves to go to jail. Straight up.
Villegas signed a prepared confession from the detectives. He attempted to withdraw his confession a few hours later, but it was already too late. Villegas was charged with 2 counts of capital murder, with the false confession being the sole evidence against him. After spending 18 years behind bars, his verdict was eventually overturned, and Villegas was released on bond. He got married and started a family during this time. However, a 3rd trial awaited him, which would determine his fate. Finally, the moment arrived, and Villegas stood in the courtroom, uncertain if he would return home to his family or be sent back to prison for life. Watch as the judge delivers the news to Daniel that his 18-year-long nightmare was finally over.
In the District Court of El Paso
I'm
County,
suing,
Texas,
bro, straight up.
9th Judicial District, the state of Texas versus Daniel Villegas, number 94-0D09328.
I'm suing the fucking city and the state.
The El Paso jury found him not guilty of capital murder, marking his true freedom since his teenage years.
Verdict Form B. We, the jury, find the defendant Daniel Villegas not guilty of...
Yeah, I feel so sad for this dude.
Daniel was incarcerated for a total of 23 years, 6 months, and 11 days. Daniel's case is guaranteed to bring out your emotional side. However,
I almost cried,
not all
dog. I ain't gonna
courtroom
lie to you.
proceedings
That's
gain
sad,
attention
bro.
because of the feel-good factor. There is the disturbing case.
Okay, yeah, I was about to pause it, but we gotta do this one, bro, because
Nikko
this man
Jenkins
definitely did what he
facing
did. I don't know
charges
what he
after
did, but he
embarked
definitely
on a
did what he
killing
did.
spree spanning
He
a
definitely
10-day
did.
period in Omaha, Nebraska. When Jenkins
Wait,
was
what'd he
just
do?
15 years old, he was sent to a youth on a killing spree because of the feel-good
So he's
factor.
a serial killer.
There is the disturbing case of Nikko Jenkins, who was facing charges after he embarked on a killing spree spanning a 10-day period in Omaha, Nebraska. When Jenkins was just 15 years old, he was sent to a youth correctional facility and served a decade-long sentence for carjacking and assault. Shortly after his release from the youth correctional facility, Jenkins went on a rampage. On August 13, 2013, Jenkins lured 2 men, Julian Uribe Peña and Jorge C. Cariga Ruiz, with the guise of having intimate relations with 2 women, only to abruptly shoot them. Only 4 days later, on August 17th, the body of Curtis Bradford was found. Bradford was a former inmate Nikko had encountered during his time in prison and proceeded to kill him in his own garage. His final victim was Andrea Kruger, a victim whose body was found by the road with multiple gunshot wounds, all of which took place in a 2-week time period. Jenkins was initially arrested on unrelated charges. It was during this time that law enforcement stumbled upon evidence connecting him to one of the murders, including the matching ammunition. The authorities confronted Jenkins with their findings, emphasizing the substantial evidence they had amassed against him.
Sharing a cell with this man, bro, that'd be crazy, dog.
I got Nikko Jenkins. I got you.
We really got it.
I got your DNA at the murder scene. I got your DNA in the car.
Sure.
I got the weapon. I got Nikko Jenkins.
The motive behind these gruesome acts was as
Whatever he
shocking
did,
as
he
the
did.
crimes
He definitely
themselves.
serial.
Jenkins
He did.
claimed that the murders were sacrificial acts for the Egyptian god Apophis.
He did.
Like, okay, my religion of Chthoni Ashur, that's the underworld. He was like on the mummy, the black book. So this was them, my little cousins, the one that were in the house with me. That when I got to serve the search warrant.
Right.
This was their ritual of sacrifice.
Jenkins entered a plea of no contest to the 4 charges of first-degree murder and voluntarily waived his right to a trial by jury. The court proceedings were marked by Jenkins' erratic behavior, including speaking in tongues and fits of laughter. Ultimately, a panel of 3 judges would conform to determine his guilt or innocence.
One of these murders was a deliberate and planned act. The victims were pre-selected and the murders were purposeful.
The murders were characterized as deliberate and premeditated, and the victims being specifically targeted.
The defendant's commission of these 4 murders over a 10-day period is one of the worst killing sprees in the history of this state.
Upon being convicted of all 4 murders, Jenkins remained motionless as the sentence was delivered. The panel unanimously concluded that the death penalty was fitting, imposing it for each of the murders committed by Jenkins.
100%.
Strikingly, Jenkins exhibited an unresponsive demeanor in the face of being sentenced to death.
Should be and is hereby given for each of the 4 murders by the defendant.
Additionally, he received a staggering sentence of up to 500 years in prison for his other charges. However bad you think Nikko Jenkins' case was, it can't.
Well, Nikko Jenkins is a fucking trash human being, and he deserves everything he got going for him. But anyway, shout out to y'all for watching this all the way to the end. If you did, shout out to y'all for coming back and watching again, or for if you're a new person watching. Appreciate y'all, bro, and I'll see you on the next one.